How to prioritize AI deployments across a business, a practical framework. Many businesses exploring AI are actually not short of ideas. They can get suggestions from staff, from vendors, from peers, from conferences, and from articles. Maybe to automate email, add AI to scheduling, improve reporting, use AI for customer queries, optimize forecasting. The challenge isn't the number of ideas, the challenge is deciding what to do first. And when AI initiatives fail to deliver value, one of the reasons could be because the technology not because the technology didn't work. It could be because the wrong thing was prioritized or because too many initiatives were started at once. In this video, I'm going to work through a practical AI prioritization framework for businesses. One designed to help organizations decide where to start, how to sequence deployments, and what to defer so that the AI adoption delivers durable value rather than short-lived activity. AI prioritization is often treated like as a technical exercise, but in practice it's a business decision. The real question is not what can AI do, it's where would applying AI change outcomes that actually matter for our business. Now, answering that requires understanding, an understanding of how work flows through the business, where coordination and delay occur, where effort accumulates without improving outcomes, and which constraints really matter. A prioritization framework that starts with the AI tools will usually miss these factors. A framework that starts with operations is far more likely to identify sensible starting points. Before prioritizing AI deployments, you need a clear picture of how work actually happens today. It doesn't require perfect documentation. It requires enough clarity to answer practical questions like what triggers the work, who touches it, where handoffs occur, where decisions are made, and where delays or rework appears. Many businesses skip this step and just jump straight into ranking the ideas. When that happens, prioritization becomes a bit abstract. Ideas are compared in isolation rather than in the context of the workflows they affect. So process mapping grounds prioritization in reality. It ensures that every AI opportunity is tied to a real piece of work. Second step is to look for friction, not problems. Once workflows are visible, the next step is in identifying friction. Friction isn't failure, it's just where work slows down, repeats, or requires unnecessary coordination, and it's basically inefficient. Common examples include repeated clarification emails, manual follow-ups to keep work moving, duplicated data entry, waiting for approvals or information. Focusing on friction avoids blame-oriented thinking. It shifts the discussion from what's broken to where does effort accumulate without adding proportional value. AI opportunities that reduce friction tend to be easier to justify and easier to stabilize. So step 3 is to define the candidate AI opportunities. So only after the mapping work and identifying friction should the AI opportunities be defined. At this stage, opportunities should be described in operational terms such as preparing structured information before a handoff, summarizing inbound requests into a consistent internal brief, drafting standard communication for review, or flagging inconsistencies for human attention. Notice that these descriptions avoid naming tools. This is deliberate. AI shouldn't be treated as an implementation detail. The opportunity is defined by the workflow improvement, not by the technology. Step 4 is to score across a scoring framework. This could include value, effort, risk, and cultural fit. So a practical AI prioritization framework uses a small number of clear lenses. At 80-20 Green, we focus on just a small number. This would include value. Does the opportunity improve outcomes that matter? Cost, throughput, service consistency, or decision clarity? Effort. How much design, testing, integration, and coordination is required to make it reliable in this specific environment? Risk. What happens if it behaves incorrectly, and how controllable is that risk through design and oversight? And finally, preparedness or cultural fit. This is, can this be easily absorbed into existing work practices without involving major change? Because the larger the change involved in how people do things, the harder it will be to deploy. So the goal isn't precise scoring. The goal is to just compare different options. So why value alone or high value alone is not enough? is another important consideration. Some organizations prioritize AI initiatives solely on perceived value. This is a mistake. A high value opportunity that also requires high effort and carries high risk is probably not the right place to start. It's probably better positioned as a second or third deployment, or maybe a fourth or fifth, or a ninth or 10th, once governance and confidence are established. Conversely, a moderate value opportunity with low effort and low risk and easy fit within the organization would be an excellent first choice, a first step. It will create evidence, learning, and operational confidence that makes later deployments easy. It will help people get used to using AI in their work. So prioritization is about sequence, not just impact. So how do you go about choosing the first deployment? Well, the first deployment obviously will set expectations. So it's usually should be narrow in scope, easy to observe and to measure and to see the impact, and reversible if needed. It should allow the business to learn how AI behaves in their environment, how staff interact with AI-assisted outputs, how exceptions arise, and how governance needs to work in practice. The learning gained from the first deployment is often more valuable than the immediate efficiency gain. Now let's look at going from prioritization to a business AI roadmap. Once the first deployment is stable, prioritization becomes easier. You've now got a reference implementation. You've got clearer boundaries around data and access, and you've got a better understanding of effort and risk. From there, AI adoption can expand as a portfolio. Each new opportunity is evaluated relative to what already exists, rather than in isolation. And this is how a business AI roadmap emerges organically, guided by evidence rather than ambition. A strong prioritization framework also clarifies what should be deferred. Common deferrals would include automating high consequence decisions too early, applying AI across many workflows simultaneously, tackling highly variable processes before simpler ones are stable. Deferring is an avoidance, it's just about sequencing. So AI delivers value when it is applied deliberately. A practical AI prioritization framework helps businesses focus on what matters first. It builds confidence through evidence and expands adoption responsibly over time. This discipline is what turns AI from a series of experiments into a durable business capability.